and see a physical and emotional clean out to live comfortably in your own space. We're going to toss to you, Bill.
All right, if you have clutter or junk piling up around the house, you know how it weighs heavy on the mind every time you see it, and you don't take care of it. Well, one local mom was brave enough to let us into her home as she worked with Dr. Nikki Crawford of Your Peaceful Space to go from a cluttered place to a more creative space.
If you can imagine about a year down the road and your home is exactly the way you want it to be, how do you think that will feel different for you?
It feels freeing.
Freeing, okay.
It's a lot easier to invite people to come on in and have dinner if you don't have to worry about your table being covered. Over the years, just with all the different transitions, I really feel like it has become a storage place. You know, life is fast-paced, especially having 2 kids.
Right.
You know, it starts to become a dumping ground.
You are wanting to let go of the things in your house that are just no longer supporting you or serving you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that involves, does that include some emotionally difficult things, some things you feel attached to, sentimental items, or tell me about the stuff that feels like it's in the way?
There was a lot of transitions from my folks that have always been here in the Kansas City area when they, you know, uprooted, and, you know, all the things, the keepsakes they had been holding on came over my way, and then there was a divorce and a move, obviously, and so then all that stuff, you don't really know what to do, and you're kind of in survival mode there and trying to figure out new stuff.
When you look around this room, what feels like it's going to be hard for you?
The sheer volume.
Okay.
I'm very grateful that I've already done a lot of the emotional stuff, so when we find the childhood trophies and the wedding dress and all that, it's no longer a real attachment to it. I mean, some of it's kind of fun to look at as far as the things from when I was real little. The sheer volume, some of the things that I just don't even know what to do with.
Okay.
And that's why it's hanging out here, because I just don't, what do you do with trophies from when you were little? With all of my grandmother's belongings, with her passing, I am no longer feeling attached to, those items are not her. Just
Right.
because I let go of the items doesn't mean that I'm letting go of her memory with them.
So is there anything down here that feels emotionally difficult for you? Any, like your Girl Scout uniform from elementary school?
There is that. I'd say the clothing, there's a little combination here. This is Junior Scouts the best, but then kindergarten, brownies uniform, 12 years old, cheerleading jackets, Casey Tap and Jazz Troupe.
Okay.
My high school letterman's jacket is right here. Go Huskies. Prom dresses and things. Yeah.
All right, we're just getting started with Lisa. Now coming up, Dr. Nikki provides easy steps to get over being overwhelmed and how to get any project in motion. Local mom Lisa led us into her home as she worked to clear out the clutter with some help from Dr. Nikki Crawford. Now step 1 was getting goals, and here's step 2 in the process.
I know there are a lot of things in here you're ready to let go of, and it really is just going to take some time to do some sorting and decide really what's precious enough to keep. So how would you like this to look at the end of your work?
Well, I'd like everything that's out on the floor to not be out on the floor.
Okay.
If I could get everything that I do want to hold on to or be stored on the shelves, like up and out of the way, so that I can see what's there, and it's easier to come down and sweep floors. That would be great.
One way to start this whole thing is to just look at, what's the low-hanging fruit? What would be the easiest thing to set by the door and then take out to the garage?
Okay. That has to be the box of trophies.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a heavy box, but yeah, there's a lot of plastic and things in there that can go. Something very easy would be probably 95% of those paint cans.
Great. Okay. Keep your eye on what's my bigger intention here.
Yeah.
Right. It would be nice to keep all of this stuff, but really, what do you really want to create for yourself now? So when you free up some of the storage in here, then you can bring some of those other things in that maybe you're not quite ready to let go of or don't think you will ever let go of, but it can be stored and out of the way, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
All right, so Dr. Nikki gives Lisa some homework, which was then made a bit more challenging with heavy rain causing some flooding, but you will see the end result in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back to Better Kansas City. Today we introduced you to local mom Lisa, and she was really wanting to clear out the clutter from her home with the help of some experts. She set goals, she got started, took action, and here are the results.
We can see that you made a lot of progress in the last several weeks. So I remember the first time I was here, we talked about why you wanted to do this, and I think you were talking about wanting to feel more space so you could feel more creative and moving into this new career that you've set up for yourself. And so you started in the basement, and some of us might think creativity and basements don't have anything to do with each other.
I had buckets of just random scrap supplies, and as you can probably see, I still hung on to some of the multiple paint cans and things. So but these are organized, and I've definitely narrowed it down to the ones that were full and in good shape and things like that, and organized them. So it feels good, and it's going to be a lot easier to see what I want and need.
And then I remember over here you had a couple of kind of portable wardrobes that had your graduation gown and a wedding dress and some other things. So did you let go of all that, or did you sort out a few things to keep?
I did keep a few of those mementos and personalized things, but it really kind of consolidated, got a lot less. So that wardrobe is no longer just stuffed full.
So how do you feel about the progress that you've made?
It's good. It feels nice. It's inspiring. It helps me realize that the overwhelm doesn't have to happen.
Now, all that magic didn't happen on its own, and with Lisa being kind enough to share her story and let us into her space, we asked our friends at 1-800-GOT-JUNK to give her a hand.
Lisa had a nice little pile waiting for us in the garage, which, traditionally you don't have to do that. The idea is just to point to the items. We'll remove them from where they sit. But she did have them ready to go in the garage. So we got in the garage, we cleaned out for her. We found a couple additional items in the garage, in the backyard. We took a couple dog houses, and then we found some extra stuff in the basement that we could remove. So we got all that cleaned out, loaded it on the truck. I think we filled up about 3/4 of our truck. Gave it a nice sweep out of the garage so it looks nice and clean right now, and I think her son's planning on pulling his car in the other side of the garage when he gets home from school, so it's a nice surprise for him.
All right, and Lisa and Dr. Nikki Crawford join us now. First off, again, shout out to 1-800-GOT-JUNK. It's been almost 2 months since the process began. Lisa, how do you feel different without all that clutter?
I feel incredible. This is such a lighter feeling.
Yeah.
To have so much of that just removed and off of my mind and to-do list. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
And Dr. Nikki, what does it take to, what does it take in Lisa's case to finally reach out for some help here?
Well, I think for most people it takes a real sense of feeling overwhelmed, and maybe the realization that they've perhaps worked on it and worked at it for a long time, but they just can't get it.
Yeah.
And so that's when you have struggled with it for months or years, that's when you know it's time to get some help.
All right. And Lisa, what was it like for you to get coaching and then have, the folks from 1-800-GOT-JUNK come out and get that stuff all off your hands?
So to have that support for both the coaching, have a plan, and then obviously the help actually physically taking it out was just awesome.
Yeah.
It was just
kind of
awesome.
just a breath of fresh air there. I mean, we saw
really
the
was.
before pictures there, especially in your basement where it looked very unorganized. But then with cleaning that a little bit of that organization, the cupboards, cleaning out that wardrobe. I mean, it brought it back and just made. I mean, I breathed. Actually, to be honest truth with you, I kind of have some relation to what my garage looks like, and so I'm already thinking, well, maybe if it warms up a little bit, we can do that same thing in our house. But Dr. Nikki, can you share some advice for someone who's watching who's struggling with clutter in the home, and just what we can do? What are those first steps? Because I think sometimes those first steps are what's important to get us started down that right path we should be on.
Yeah, I think the first thing to realize is there's no perfect place to begin. And so there's no one blueprint or one task kind of a task analysis to go.
Yeah.
So you start with the easiest place in the house, and that might be your sock drawer. But wherever you can begin is where you should try to begin. And then break it into small doable chunks. So maybe just 25 minutes at a time, so you don't get too overwhelmed with it. And recruit some accountability. So let a friend know that you're going to be doing this. And I think accountability is a huge piece of it. And so that's what I was able to offer Lisa. When you have a coach, that's part of what they do, is offer accountability and say, how's it going? You know, what are the blocks? How can we problem solve through this?
So was that a pressure of accountability, almost in a way that you knew she was going to be following up, so you made sure to take those steps?
No. I think she was a great support. I think the more intimidating factor was sharing with Kansas City.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, Kansas City loves you. You're great. Our ratings are spiking right now. But how hard, has it been hard to maintain it since they came in and got all the junk out?
Not at all. It was truly an inspiring thing to do. So it gives you that little foothold of, I can do this. This is exciting. It was great to have, that big chunk taken out right away to give you that hope.
All right. Well, good. Well, thank you for coming on the show and for sharing your story and your success story. And Dr. Nikki, of course, we appreciate you being here and your time as always. And again, thank you to the folks from 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And they can help you get rid of clutter and better enjoy your living space. Make your appointment today or go online to 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.